Welcome in. Mega love shout out to all of Team Happy in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. To Malai, welcome. Team Happy, Gina Rose, Arlene, Maria, Jihan, Levi. Thank you to all of Team Happy. Mega love shout out. Also, I see Tamika Davis. Welcome, Queen. Thank you for joining me. Just being Sierra. Appreciate you being in here, Queen. Moderator Joy just came in from Team Happy. Mega love shout out. I'm going to give a few people the opportunity to come in, guys. Welcome, Building Ace Legacy. Thank you for joining me, Lacey. I appreciate having you here. I'm sure your mother is right behind you. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Tonight, my guest is a partner of mine. Neil, I have a story to tell. I mentioned to you guys for the past 2 weeks that he would be coming on tonight to talk a little bit about the gig economy. For those who are not familiar with the gig economy, it basically is a free market system in which temporary positions are common and organizations hire independent workers for short term commitments. Judith, welcome in, Queen. I just said to your daughter, I know you'll be in shortly. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. Again, my guest is Neil. I have a story to tell, and he's going to give us some insight to the whole gig economy. Um, I'm sure we can all learn tonight how to make some additional income, or if you are unemployed, then you can learn about another source of income. I'm going to ask him a series of questions. Um, I want to put up a banner where you guys can follow him really quickly. So you can follow him over on his YouTube channel for more insight about the gig economy and way more. And his channel is Neil, I Have a Story to Tell. So we're going to start off with my first question to Neil. How long have you been working in the gig economy?
Well, well, since 2016. But once, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. You've been my partner for a while, and it's an honor to be on your channel. I've been working. I've been working the gig economy since 2016. Matter of fact, I left my job. I left my cushy job to drive people around and deliver food.
So you started back in 2016. Do you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
yourself ending this career anytime soon? Or do you use it basically to supplement income that's already there?
What now I'm using the gig economy to supplement income because of rising gas prices, and my vehicles wasn't working as I wanted to. But I'm going back to the gig economy once gas prices go back down and full time because I make a nice little living. I've been doing this since 2016. It's 2022.
So you felt the most impact from the gas once we went through the whole pandemic, correct?
Correct. Correct. I actually, and then my vehicles was going, starting to break down. So my wife and I had a 2019 Honda Sonata, and that went down during the gig economy. So I was doing a lot of uh, food delivery, And you and Sean, the sensational gent, y'all have lives on, and I'll be on live trying to comment while I'm doing food delivery. So yeah, I'm going back.
Yes, anybody in the chat, you may recognize Neil. I have a story to tell from my chats when we used to do like the Family Feud and the trivia over on Saturdays. Primarily, he was able to join. He used to be in there while he was out making deliveries. And I used to always cut a joke with him to be safe. Don't get fired on my account. You can always go back and watch the replay. So yeah, he was a loyal subscriber to the channel. Is a loyal subscriber to the channel, and we are in a group that he is admin over on Facebook. I just saw Precious come into the chat. The life of a positive mother. Welcome, Precious. Thank you for being here. The Woods Way, I appreciate you coming in. Evelyn from Team Happy. And Todd, Team Happy, and Maria, and Assistant Maya Dear. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate having you tonight. We are speaking with Neil. I have a story to tell, and we are discussing the gig economy. The second question that I have for Neil is, what are some of the pros and cons for working in the gig economy?
Well, let's start off with the cons. As I just mentioned, my vehicle. I have two vehicles that went down, and that's you have to honestly constantly maintain your vehicle. But there's ways you could go and combat that by renting a car. But that's another story because Lyft and Uber has a rental program, but that you could go into. But also the cons is you have to stay out. It could be a slow day. It could be a slow day if you have $100 you want to make and you only in like 5 hours get 50, 60. You gotta keep going until you go. Positives, plenty, freedom, independence. You don't have to listen to anyone. If you're doing rideshare for a couple of minutes, I had the most enjoyable conversations doing rideshare. Uh, you don't have to listen to no one. You are your own boss. And if you have a family, uh, it's really beneficial. You could go to all the family reunions, all the gatherings, and still you could. And then after the gathering, you could go turn your app back on. So there's a lot of if you're a family person, especially for women, single mothers, uh, daycare wouldn't be too much of an issue because you could go around a school schedule or go around the things that you need to do. Like I take care of my mother. So guess what? I have to take her to the doctor. So it was so beneficial. I didn't have to worry about saying, "Oh, I need this day off." So those are the pros and cons, really. The freedom, independence, and the cons is your vehicle and maintenance. That's the main thing, maintenance, because you need your vehicle to make money.
Thank you so much for that. I definitely consider those the same pros from this standpoint. Someone who has never worked in the gig economy, um, creating my own schedule, being able to make it work around my family dynamics. That's very important for me. And it's a supplement income. Oh, that's a win. That's a win all the way around. However, I know nobody likes to see because you never can predict when you're going to have car trouble. So that's unfortunate. So, what I would do if I came into it now with the insight from you, the first budget I would put aside would be for any mechanic work to my car. Because I know now going in, like it's something I wouldn't anticipate, if I was just starting out and just taking a leap. But however, now that I gained that insight from you, I know it's very important because obviously you're putting a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle. So it makes perfect sense. And you want to keep up on the maintenance irregardless. I'm a female. And right now I work overnight. So that's very important for me. But now I would definitely take in account that I need to set aside some funds for mechanic purposes. Just want to greet Lightfoot Missy who came in. Welcome, Queen. Admin Pretty Joy, appreciate you being here. Sherry's Corner, thank you for coming in. And Anna Lee, Team Happy, mega love shout out. Okay, so some of the top reasons for working in the gig economy, like for someone myself, I would say balancing career and family needs, earning while seeking a better job or just some additional income, and just making extra money on the side. Period. Would you agree, Neil?
I agree 1,000%. I always mothers with children, caretakers. I really, I really would say do the gig economy, and it's just not one gig economy. You have Uber, Lyft, Roadie, VHO, Amazon Flex. You could do a multitude of gig economies, and so it's just not one app. So you can make it work for you. Like Roadie, you can go ahead and get a package like at a Home Depot and travel, say, 50 miles out and then come back. And you will make the same amount in one trip than a food delivery. So that is ways to go ahead and make money. You have to make the gig economy work for you. And that's why I continue to tell people like that boss that gets on your nerve, guess what? You don't have to take it because you can just go ahead and be like, that's it. I'm out of here. You ain't going to disrespect me or talk to me any type of way. So that's what I always love. And bosses, really, management had to change their management style because of the gig economy. The gig economy, people were saying, where everybody at working? They're doing the gig economy. That's the whole thing because we don't need a job. And we even insurance now. We didn't used to have insurance, but now it's like it's a low grade insurance that Uber and Lyft will offer you. So let's wait for the enrollment. So it's like people like get this. Um, it's over a million, what 1 or 2 million people who haven't returned to a regular workforce because half of them is doing the gig economy, and everybody, DoorDash, Uber Eats, they are willing to pay the extra for convenience.
Wow. So you basically got that attitude like that mother off Everybody Hate Chris. I don't have to put up with this no
yeah,
more.
yeah,
You got that
exactly.
ghetto mentality once this gig economy took off for you, huh?
Yeah, yes. Yes. I was, matter of fact, how I actually started real quick is that my boss, I was downtown. I was in downtown Chicago doing security, and they wasn't treating me right. Okay. And next thing you know, I was like, you know what? The gig economy came up. I started doing rideshare. I got the bug. I got addicted. I was making money in 2 to 3 days than I was making in a week or a week and a half doing a regular job. But you have to turn that app on and you have to go out
Do you find that other like your fellow coworkers, I guess you would call them coworkers because you're an independent contractor. So people that you meet that's also doing the gig economy. Do you notice that they're doubling up on those type of jobs versus going out and getting the normal 9 to 5?
Oh yeah, they don't even want to work for nobody else now. It's like nah, because me, if it wasn't for two things, the gas prices and my vehicles, my wife and I vehicles going down. Oh no, I still be out there. I still be out there easy because I want to make more money doing the gig economy. And but that I just with the gas prices, I would have just had to stay out later. But oh no, you once you get that bug, mm-mm, and then you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. You have an IRA. It's not a 401k. You do an IRA. You go ahead and put money to the side, like you just said, for maintenance costs. You have to make sure you keep track of everything because taxes. Okay, what I'm saying, you have to have be ready for the taxes. You get 1099. So now a regular tax form because we're independent contractors. So things like this, you have to be disciplined, motivated, treated like a regular job to a certain extent, but you can have the same thing you have at a regular job
Now, the pay, is it per day? Because when I was doing like independent contract work, it was in human services field where I was going in people's home being a companion. And so we were writing up our tickets by the end of our shift and receiving our monies or a check by the family members at the end of the shift. Or you can just, if you knew you was going to be with that particular client all week, you can wait to the end of the week and collect all your monies, at the same time on the Friday. But I used to get paid daily because in the event something happened and I didn't make it back to that client, I didn't want to have to deal with the inconvenience of it all. So, do you guys get paid weekly, bi weekly, or daily?
now. Okay, it's both. It's weekly and daily. And let me go ahead and put some add on to that. Immediate. So after you do an order and you have met the criteria for um for the get daily payout, all right, Uber allow you to do daily payout 5 times a day. DoorDash do it once a day. Okay, once a day. Uber 50 cent per transaction. DoorDash they do $2 every transaction. Or you can wait for a week and every Tuesday they will pay you out. Oh, 4 times for about a year. This is a high Judas. So um that's where I would say that I can get my money. If I need $10, I go ahead and do a food delivery. I get that. I cash out, get that $10, and I don't have to even wait for a week. I have the money immediate. But but it's a pro and con. You get addicted to that daily payout. So instead of that mass amount of money, you get addicted to it, and you be like, "Oh man, I got this," and then next thing you know, you like, "I need $500." Okay, I better wait. I better wait.
Yeah, because I did notice that. I was a little younger when I was doing it back then. And I was more free handed with my money. The money was like going through my finger because it was so available to me. Like I had it every day. I got paid. So it was like, that ain't about nothing paying for this. That ain't about nothing. And then when I looked at it at the end, like, where did all that money go? All that dribbling it out because it was right there in my hand every day. So I started training myself. You got to go deposit that.
Oh, exactly. You have to be very disciplined. Um, Discipline is the key. Discipline is the key word because sometimes a lot of people need a job, a regular job, because a lot of people don't have discipline. So you have to be able to go ahead and be like, okay, in the morning I got to get up and turn my app on, or mentally prepare yourself to go ahead and go turn that app and work because you are your own boss. So if you don't turn that app on, guess what? You don't get paid. But if you had a regular job, it's like you forced to go out and make that money. So it's to each their own.
Okay, really quickly, I wanted to welcome Helenista into the chat. Nanita, Team Happy, Mega Love shout out. And then Erica Wilson, welcome, Queen. Thank you for joining us. I did see where Judith put in the chat, I did it full time for about a year. Um, yeah, I can see that happening. But she also works in the human services field because we work in the same field. Um, Obviously, she was doing it to either supplement income or maybe even between jobs because she obviously did it before we met. Um, and then I remember when I was asking you about the pay, she was saying basically, however, it depends on how you want it. So she was in agreement with you at the time when you were giving feedback on that particular topic. But did you notice that gig work became higher in demand during the pandemic?
Oh yes, Instacart is a great example. Instacart is when you deliver, you shop for a customer, and you keep in communication with them throughout your store run, and you deliver groceries to their doorstep. And wifey and we made, I kid you not, in a day, not even 8 hours, $300. $300. That's on the app. And then they give cash tips. So we had like 150, $200. Now this is when the pandemic hit at first. Everybody was new with the Instacart, and then they was like, "Well, we need to give you a tip. We appreciate you, depending on your area." So Instacart, oh, that was love at the first pandemic, and delivery. A lot of people shut down on the ride share, of course, of the obvious reasons. But food delivery, grocery shopping, it was, man. Well, oh no, we was still working. Everybody else was not. We was still working.
You were high in demand like us essential workers. We had to
Yeah,
be out there regardless. They gave us a piece of paper from our administrative offices, letting them, if we got stopped by the police, show them that you work in human services and it would clear you. So you guys were just as essential because a lot of those places were closed down. Yeah, you can get to the pharmacy and you can get on the road between this hour, but they had it where you couldn't even be out there. So I know delivery services were popping because I started taking Hello Fresh during the pandemic, just so I could feel like
Okay.
me and my family was still dining out, so to speak. Even though I had to prepare it at home, they provided everything in these recipe cards, so that kind of worked for us. But I remember when calling Walmart and stuff, it was blocked. All those delivery windows were blocked, so we had to rely on, the services that you guys provided, the door to door service. Which gig work do you find more profitable?
Right here. Lyft and Uber Eats. Uh, because Lyft and Uber Eats, you have certain areas like you have airports, downtown. I want to speak on downtown Chicago. So downtown Chicago is very expensive. I mean, for the passenger. So the area downtown, you can make $300-400, especially if you're doing XL. If you have, as I call it, the fancy trucks, you can go ahead and make a lot of money per day. So I've known drivers who done like $1,500, $2,000 just a week by doing that. But you have to know the area, the time zones, the peak zones, and you hit those zones is very profitable. But sometimes you have those times where it's not the peak, you have no peak. So that's how you can make your money with rideshare. Rideshare, I call it, is the home run money.
Wow, who would have known? It's a lot of money out there. I would have never figured.
No, it's a lot of money out here, but you have to turn that app on and you have to mentally focus because this is one of the cons is that okay, you can make that money, but like when it's dry, like it's nothing going on, you in your vehicle, you have to have your phone on or do something, be on the phone because it does get tedious. It gets like, oh man, I want to go home, and then it's like, okay, you're missing out on money. So, so yes, you can make it, but you got to be disciplined to do
Yeah, I do personally know a girlfriend of mine that was doing the gig work, and she kept clocking out every day to go home and hang with her husband because he was in between jobs. Or, he would work long distance, like away from the home. And whenever he came home for like a week or two, she would hardly go out there. She would go out there and clock in and then make excuses. Oh, it's slow. I'm coming back home. You got to pick your poison. You want your money? Because you can hang with hubby after work hours, right?
it. Yeah,
Me and my husband got a rule. We both not sitting home, especially like in the winter months when it's snowstorms. I will call into my job and ask, do you want off? I'll come in and work for you. Call out. I'll stay and get stuck for you. I will prepare to go in there and get stuck. Turn that down so that I can make the money. I'm sorry. He's trying it, y'all. Because we have this rule. Don't none of it, both of us do not need to sit home up in each other's face. Oh my gosh, we gonna get through it. He wants y'all to hear. Thank God he listening to YouTube, but I don't still know if that's okay to be listening to somebody else's channel. All right. Which gig jobs would you recommend for someone that's just starting out?
Food deliveries. No, food deliveries. uh, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. Um, those are the things because you want to get used to using your vehicle, driving to certain locations. It's the same thing, but just not. It's the same thing as rideshare, but it's not a person by inside. So you want to get used to looking at the apps, the maps, how to navigate everything. So by that time you actually get used to working the app and driving your vehicle while looking at the app, then you can go ahead and do ride share. And then there's another set of issues that you have to overcome. So it's the food delivery is where is that at first.
Okay, I just want to take a moment and welcome Kimberly Arlinda. Talk about hey, it's Fat Albert. Hey, Kim, welcome in, Queen. Thank you for joining us. Also, moderator active Kathleen, Team Happy, Mega Love shout out. Tantan, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate having you here, King. Um, what does a good day look like from a financial standpoint, like for you? What was your absolute best day that you can recall?
Well, the absolute 250 $250. Um,
What was the time frame on that?
no, that was an all day thing. That was an all day.
Yeah, but
Uh,
guess what? I work all day and I don't make 250. Don't sound bad. That's not a bad thing. You give 8 hours on a 10 hour, you know, you get $80. So that's good. You made 250.
well, now hold on. Now, but this is the reality with that 250. How much in gas I got to pay out, right? I got also you got tolls. In other words, it's an expense. You have a business expense. So in reality, I only saw about 210, 220 for that day because I had. If you fill up twice in a day, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. On a regular day, my goal is always to get $100 a day every time I'm out. On the weekend, I do 200. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I want 200 a day.
Okay. Well, that's good because you're hitting your goals. Obviously, you're still in
Exactly.
there. Um, so I know that you and I touch bases here right before we went live, but just for the sake of sharing this with my community, um, how does it work when you're working multiple apps? Like, how long can you be out there?
Well, in Illinois, it's up to 10 hours. In Illinois, you could go up to 10 hours online, and then they will automatically, Uber and Lyft will automatically shut your app down. But the way you combat that is go to another app. If they shut you down because by law in Illinois, you can't go past 10 hours if you're on the road, guess what? Go to another app. You go to another app. That's why it's so many apps out here. Okay. And utilize it. And I've known drivers who actually, if it's one app is slow, you go to the other app. That may be productive. So that's how I would go. That's how I go about it.
So I see Judith Daniels saying in the chat 500 in the split 8 hours. She said 5 to 9 a and back 2 to 6. Then I also see, well, Keith, Team Happy, Mega Love shout out. Thank you for coming in. And I see Building Ace saying it works to know the peak hours with some of it because the prices are higher. Do you agree?
Exactly, exactly. During peak times, when you have those peak times, that is that is the main thing. There's a couple of things you have to do, and just like Judith Daniels, I did the same thing. I used to split my times. I used to go through the morning rush, and then you had the evening rush. Okay, so you have the lunchtime rush where everybody's ordering for food deliveries, And then at night, everybody's coming home and they don't feel like they coming home from work and they don't feel like cooking, so they order out. With rideshare, the morning everybody's going to work, okay, and then the rush hour track coming back when everybody coming off work. On the weekends, it's 24/7 because everybody's going out, having fun, partying, enjoying themselves. So you have to know those times. You know those times, you can save your vehicle for longer use and save yourself on gas and burnout.
So I see where she put in the chat airports, train station, and bus stations.
Oh yes, that's it. It's so much business in those airport train stations and bus stations. They have their own lot at O'Hare Mint. Well, we have our own lot because there's so many people use on rideshare. So, oh yeah.
So you guys basically shut taxis out of business. That's why I don't see taxis in my neighborhood no more, because you got the whole gig economy going on. Is that what happened? Because we had a taxi service that was approximately 3 minutes from my house. It was there since the 90s. And I noticed since like the pandemic, it's gone. It's no longer in business, period. And I don't see those taxis lined up at our high speed line train station anymore.
Well, let me give you a little history with the taxis. The emblems. It was people was they was charging for these emblems for these taxi companies for each driver. So when Lyft and Uber came about, you didn't have to have that. The middleman was out. You didn't have to work for a company because they say you work for you private contract. No, you're not. You're working for that cab company and renting and all that. So it was like, forget that. Everybody that said forget the taxis, the drivers, and then the service was horrible. It didn't go with the times. They was rude. They were unpolite. They wouldn't go to certain areas at night. I remember I would call a cab company when I was using them. I was like, where you low? How long? What's your ETA? What's your ETA? I don't have to worry about that because I can look on my app. I can look at my phone and see where you at. So they didn't stay with the times, and with poor customer service, they was like, yeah. So that's why you don't see as many like you used to.
That makes perfect sense. I never thought about that. You're right. The service sucked. They were rude. The cars were filthy. You didn't want to sit in it, let alone put your groceries or anything else in there, especially if you had a little one. You hand, foot, and mouth disease or something. I was afraid of those places. I would sit around and wait 8 hours for somebody to get me before I used those cab services because of the terrible customer service and just the appearance of it all. I do want to say that I notice people with the gig economy, like my girlfriend, she would always go every day to the car wash and get her car like vacuumed out and everything, just to make sure the presentation was right. I don't know if that's a practice that everybody does, but I know that's something that she did.
Oh, that's what I did. My wife and I. Oh, we did that. We did that almost every day, every other day, because it's not only for the presentation. It's for for like when the pandemic hit, we was mandated to go ahead and make sure we had the vehicles in tip top order. Matter of fact, we had hand sanitizer. Um, Drivers was doing if they could find it. We did Lysol the car every time somebody was in the car. So I was doing that. Shantae, my wife and I was doing that though before the pandemic.
What did you guys do for protection? Like, sometimes in the cabs they have like the plexiglass. Did you guys have something like that, or you just had to wear your mask basically?
Well, this is when it was. That's why another reason I went to ride food delivery. Lyft and Uber went overboard. They went overboard. But I can't get mad at them from a business standpoint. I guess we had to keep the window down on the opposite side, and we always had to keep the mask on no matter what, and the passenger. And we had the right to decline the order if they didn't put the mask
And I would have did it too. So I
on.
kind of get it.
I
Them
get it.
going
Yes,
overboard
yes.
because it was protecting everybody. Even after people took the shots, You still had to follow the protocol as far as I'm concerned. My kids were allowed to go back to school last year, and they, lifted that mask mandate. And I was like, absolutely not. I want my kids in mask. I'm sending them every day in mask. I expect you guys to return them to me in mask every day. Those numbers kept spiking, and guess what? Right now, currently, they're saying that this pandemic is over. How when we still got the monkeypox out there?
Don't even get me started.
How? How? Right now they have a shortage on teachers. And for anybody listening in on the chat, you will see that it's expected to be worldwide. It's evident that in Virginia, just being Sierra, have already gone back to work yesterday, and they definitely have experienced there's a shortage in teachers. They're already estimating that in New Jersey and some other states that I have been following. Also, for anybody that don't know, there is a recall on Capri Suns. Be very mindful when you're out there shopping. I know it's a lot of mommies in my chat, and we're shopping. Now, they're saying that it's the wild cherry flavor because somehow they got some type of cleaning solution confused with the Capri Suns. But I would just say stay completely away from purchasing Capri Suns for right now until they have that thing resolved. There's no way you're going to tell me it's just one flavor. I'm not understanding why they would have a cleaning solution plant, same with where you're preparing these Capri Suns. But, everybody do what they want out there. So we're not in control of that part. What we can control is do not purchase any Capri Suns right now. So the last question that I have for Neil, everybody, if you guys have anything, please put it in the chat. Really quickly, I want to welcome Charms Lifestyle. Mega love shout out. Also, James Money 615. Thank you for coming in, King. Rebecca, Team Happy. Mega love shout out. And you, Wanda, Hills Tiny Farmhouse. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. Let's see. Sierra said Richmond, Virginia is bad with teachers being low. Yeah, I said, yep, the Virginia area, I know for sure. I seen that, shaking my head. I didn't buy any of those. I don't buy those either, but my kids, when I take them out on their little outings to like Dollar Tree and stuff, they normally pick them up. So I have to be mindful because we are scheduled to go tomorrow. They cannot have Capri Sun. I'm going to start pounding that in their heads tonight. Sherry, we don't have enough subs here in West Virginia. Wow. Our country is in red. Yeah. Our county, I'm sorry, is in red, and they are worried about not having subs if teachers get sick. Absolutely. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Don't even get me started on mine. Unfortunately, three of my children are out of public school. Like younger. So, man, she don't go, leave house without
I can already foresee we're going to go back to doing virtual learning again, which I felt like I never really got away from because I kept showing you guys in my footage throughout this whole last 2021 to 2022 school year. My kids were in and out of school due to quarantine. It is really, really strict here in New Jersey. They never really lifted it like the other states. So I felt like I was constantly virtual learning with the kids anyway. She say, luckily we don't like cherry kind. Anyway, okay, good for you. So you in the clear. You in the clear. Judith from Team Happy, mega love shout out. Thank you for coming in. So my final question for Neil is, are the tips good? And if so, is there a specific app that allows you to get tips or not allow? You can go into detail there.
Okay. Uber didn't allow tips at first, right? Then Lyft started accepting tips, and so the pressure was on Uber to go ahead and do tips, which they do now. Okay. Then DoorDash, Uber, Lyft start taking our tips and not giving us all of our tip money. So it's documented. Google it. They've been sued like 3 million, like 3-4 times, and they had to give drivers some money back. So the tips are real well because especially if you have good conversation in the ride share, man, people really enjoy that conversation because I say we the new bartenders of society because you're only going to see us once, so I might as well I tell you whatever, you know. And but the tips are well, the tips do well, and Instacart. They give cash tips. A lot of times they will have envelopes. That's money. They be like, driver, thank you. Say thank you and thank you for your service. I'm serious. They was treating us like we was in the military. It was amazing. And even on the apps, people would say thank you for what you do. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So the tips are nice, but don't expect the tips though. And a lot of people, that's when people mess up. They expect the tips, but let's give them good service, be polite, communicate well. You get tips. I remember one time, wifey and I, we racked up on Instacart. We racked up on at least $100 in tips. I paid my phone bill off tips.
Wow, you are a wealth of knowledge. I have learned so much from chatting with you here tonight, one on. I feel like we were one on one. I know the chat is here, but I felt like I gained so much from you tonight. Thank you so much, and I'm sure others in my chat have learned just as much from you tonight.
But thank you for
Let's see
having
what
me.
they're saying. Oh, your pleasure, 721. Thank you for coming, Queen. Um, yeah, they're greeting your pleasure. Okay, they're all greeting one another. I just wanted to make sure. The last thing I saw was Sierra say they will never try to do virtual learning again here. That's in Virginia. They despise talking about it.
But it's a hybrid of
Unfortunately, it
Illinois.
won't be up to them. It won't be up to them. If it's government mandated, then they have to follow suit.
Amazon.
Is there anything else that you would like to add, Neil, to share?
Well, uh, see, just being Sierra, just asking Neil, what's your thoughts on Amazon affiliate, Amazon Flex? And Amazon Flex is pretty. VHO took everything from Amazon Flex, so Amazon Flex is good, but but it's put like this. I love it. I'm gonna be honest with you. But it's so busy, you have to get those blocks. I mean, those schedules, and sometimes people be hitting those schedules so quick you can get one. So I am very much in love with Amazon Flex and enjoy doing it. And they have certain areas where they have hubs where you be in a certain area. So I like Amazon Flex. I would highly, if you could get in, stick with it.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us tonight. I appreciate having you here. I see what Precious says. This has been very informative. Thank you so much. I appreciate this convo. Thank you so much from Hellenista. Please follow Neil over on YouTube for more insight about the gig economy and more. His channel is Neil. I have a story to tell. Please join me next Tuesday where I will have some guests on. And we will be talking about the different dynamics of a blended family. One moment, y'all. He want to tell something. Okay, I will be on next week doing the different dynamics of the blended family. When I'm done, hold on one second. He's talking about when you're done. And ladies, get into this head wrap tonight. Y'all see this? Wrap it up Wednesday. Wrap it up Wednesday. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. for that upload for this week for Wrap It Up Wednesday. I will have this actual style scheduled for next week, Wednesday, Wrap It Up Wednesday. Again, we have 2 more weeks after tomorrow for Wrap It Up. Learn how to manage those bad hair days. Keep in mind that these wraps are good for individuals with chemo, suffering from having to go through chemos or hair loss. So again, you can follow Neil over on Neil I Have a Story to Tell. I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. Hopefully you took some things away and maybe you have a new career in mind. Thanks to Neil. Thank you so much, Neil, for being here. I don't want to hold you because I know you have to go. He's on another side of the world, y'all. He's on a different time zone. Where are you located, Neil, for them so they can know?
From Chicago, but I was suburbs of Oswego, Illinois.
So what time is it where you are now?
8:01 p.m.
Okay. Okay. So you're just like an hour behind us. Okay. All right, thank you guys. Again, get into that head wrap. Wrap it up Wednesday tomorrow, 7 p.m. And on Thursday, I will be over on Grandma Does It All playing Family Feud at 7 p.m. Love and respect to you all. Good night.